What's going on, everyone? Second episode of Two Bros, Two Brews. I'm going to be reviewing Lagunitas Sucks today. It's a beer that they released this year in 2020. They're basically like, 2020 sucks, so we're going to make a beer that also sucks. It's an IPA. That's 8%. And it's a 4-grain beer. Barley, rye, wheat, and oats. It's a banger.
Sounds pretty good. I like IPAs, so
Pop these bad boys.
I kind of have high hopes for this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, IPAs are pretty good. It's ice cold. Cheers.
I'll drink that.
It's weirdly light. It's a weirdly light IPA, I feel like.
Yeah, I need to try that again, yeah.
It's a very good flavor. It's like a normal IPA, like sour bitterness.
It's got a lot less like fruit flavor than other IPAs.
Yeah, it's less.
It's like they took almost all of that out of it.
I don't think it's
in a good way.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. It's like a light beer, a light IPA basically, and it doesn't suck. Lagunitas
does not suck.
It's the opposite of sucks. And 8%, for 8%, it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean,
like 8%, it's pretty. Doesn't not taste like strong at all. I mean, no, 8%.
It's good because I just took like 4 drinks in a row. I'll give that a good score.
I actually don't know what the flavor is though. I don't know like the fruit they are going for.
I think it's almost just hops, like because a lot of times it's like they go for citrus or like orangey or something.
Yeah.
This is like
just hoppy.
It's just straight hop.
It doesn't taste fruity. I mean, it does taste fruity still though, in my opinion.
It's like do you ever drink hazy IPAs?
Yeah, actually.
It's the complete opposite spectrum of that.
Oh yeah, those are really, really, really fruity.
Which is cool because I get bored. Like that's what I drink the most of.
Mm-hmm.
But I get bored of it, and I'm like, what do I want if I don't want that flavor?
Oh, it just says it's a joyously dry hopped IPA, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they're proud of it. They're bragging about the hop.
Yeah, I guess when you're drinking hazy, it's like I want something that's strong.
Yeah,
like the flavor, and this is kind of like I feel like you could probably do a 6-pack of these.
You could be chilling on
for
this.
like IPAs for sure.
I give it what's their piss score?
Piss score 1 out of 10. 10 being the worst.
10's the worst. 10 is drinking piss.
10 is drinking piss. I think it's like probably 3.
I was gonna say 3. I give it a 3.
10. Piss, yeah. It's really good.
I'd be pretty happy having one of these. It's not my favorite. It's not like the best thing.
No,
but
it's
good.
On a normal scale, 7 out of 10. On the piss scale, 3 out of 10.
Flip it. Easy 3, I think.
Yeah. It's really good. Big fan. What kind of taste do you get? Just hoppy?
Yeah, hoppy. I mean,
I feel like it would taste like a little bit like car acid. Like I don't know why. Like if you
car acid,
like battery acid.
That doesn't sound
it's not
good
metallic, but it's like
yeah.
It's like the.
There's an aftertaste.
Like,
there.
I know that I've never tasted battery acid. But I would imagine it's like sour and shit.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's yeah. I mean, we're back. We had a chili incident.
Big problems with the chili.
Figured it out though.
Yeah. So let's talk about that cut. Usually this is incredibly raw, really raw podcast.
Extra raw.
Extra raw. Anyway, back to battery acid. So I get like I don't know. It's like I guess like just like a bitter sour kind of thing. It's not super sour, but I definitely get like that.
I'd say bitter.
Yeah,
like really,
it's pretty
really bitter.
But I guess IPAs are, but because it doesn't have any fruity like tone.
Yeah.
It's like all you get is like the bitter on your tongue. It just like for me it's the back of my tongue, and that's the only place it's like sitting. But it's also light, so it's not like too overbearing.
Well, it's kind of sad though actually, is if they only make it for this year. It's
it
good enough that I would
it's
actually buy it. So
yeah, I'd buy it too.
I'm gonna be sad if
maybe they'll just rename it to like Lagunitas Rocks.
Rocks, yeah. Like we had a good year.
Yeah.
So we changed the name.
2021. It's the year of the Sucks beer.
The comeback, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't. Do you know what IPAs normally are for alcohol content?
Maybe like 6 to 9 ish.
Okay. Yeah, so
it's fairly strong.
Yeah,
It's pretty strong
it's
beer.
pretty
Yeah.
strong. And I don't
Which
really taste
is
strong at all.
preferred for me. I'd
Yeah, it
say.
tastes light too.
Yeah.
I don't like drinking a ton of liquid. So if you're trying to just like get a buzz.
But yeah, what's nice is you can have like 2 of these and like
Mhm.
feel good. Like you don't have to work for it.
Yeah,
You just enjoy your
You can just have a
beer.
nice Lagunitas.
Feeling pretty good.
All right. Well, move on to the topic. How'd you get into Jiu Jitsu? We're both Jiu Jitsu members, I suppose. Very
Members of the
high
community.
level. I'm white belt. He's a blue belt.
I've been doing it probably coming on 3 years, 2.5 years. How long for you?
About 3.5 months.
3.5 months.
Yeah, solid.
Little, yeah.
But almost every weekday.
Yeah, you've been going strong though. You've been going like a lot, so
Mhm.
it's nice to be delving into that. I got into jiu-jitsu for it was like a really specific chain of events. Actually, I don't think I told
Yeah, I
you
don't think so.
really. So I wrestled through high school. I was pretty into that, and I went to college. Not good enough to be a college wrestler, and I was actually looking at like intramural wrestling because I wanted like to whatever stay in shape, do stuff. But I realized people take their intramural teams really serious.
Yeah.
And you have to travel. You'd have to like compete to even be on the intramural team.
Yeah, that's how.
To make the cut. Yeah.
That is you too.
Yeah, you'd have to travel everywhere. So I kind of like had a moment where I was like, that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I knew jiu-jitsu like existed as its own thing. People compare it to wrestling. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'd like that. And we have our own club at our school. So I went to check it out. Actually, know what I wanted to do is right next to a karate. I think it was a karate club,
Mhm.
like 2 different mat rooms. And I checked out the karate one first because I was like, I've never done striking. Maybe I want to learn how to like kick someone's ass. And the club was like super hokey. I walked in there and like everyone was really out of shape, and it was like I don't know how to say it besides everyone was like really nerdy.
Yeah.
Like it looked like they didn't do martial arts.
Yeah.
And they were like really wanted to bring me in and like keep me there. After like 2 minutes, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I made a mistake. So I find my way out, however, and I walk into the jiu-jitsu room, and it's like a total 180.
Yeah.
They like don't even talk to me because they're on the mats like doing their thing.
Yeah.
And it was intimidating, which I liked because I was like, oh, these guys would beat the shit out of me. And I think I just watched it, and I ended up not going for some reason. I don't know if like I was intimidated or I didn't want to commit because that's sort of like a problem for a lot of people. So then like 6 months later, I needed 1 more credit hour for class, and they offered a jiu-jitsu class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like really to get college credit was like the push.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, hell yeah. That was like such a good time and got me into it like in a beginner-friendly way.
Mhm.
I went back to the club and like faced my fears.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got super into it since then, going on
Yeah.
almost 3 years.
And what made you like go to your gym?
The one that I did go to?
Let's set it up.
Oh yeah, so that didn't exist when I started. So I only went to the club, which was ran by the one black belt in town.
Okay.
His name's Matt, but he was super good. Like obvious to have him like crazy high level.
Mhm.
And within the first year, they're doing like promotions at the club, and he's like, I've been mentioning this to some of you for a while. I wasn't going to open a gym here until it was the right time. He's like, the club got so big that I'm splitting off from the university and making my own school
Was he
with a
teacher or
wrestling
something?
coach. Huh?
Besides, do you know if he's a teacher?
Oh no, he had no affiliation with the school outside of being the club coach.
Okay.
And then he and this wrestling, I was like the biggest wrestling place.
Yeah.
Him and this really involved wrestler guy opened their gym.
Mhm.
And yeah, I guess I could have stayed, but I also switched too because he was basically like, I'm getting out of this, so essentially if you want to stick with me, I'm going to be over
Did
here.
most people leave?
It was like 50-50 because
Oh,
there was a good college population that I think did it almost strictly for fun, you know, which is like, it was like the white belts who didn't, a huge amount of people just starting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's way cheaper through the university.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So I got to be like almost nothing.
Yeah, which is totally fine. It was like, if you want to enjoy it and be in shape, they stayed with the school. Some people went anyways, but if you wanted to like compete,
Yeah.
you had to go.
Or even just get like really like you want to get good.
Yeah, if you're in deep, it's like you gotta go to his gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been there since.
Oh, that's cool.
Mostly.
And then you moved gyms recently.
Yeah, and then I moved to San Diego, and I'm at another. It's a pretty big gym.
Yeah.
Bunch of competitors there.
It's a very good gym.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it enough though that I knew when I was moving, I had to find a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of hobbies, it's like easy to give up.
Oh, super. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiu Jitsu is awesome. It's like I think my favorite part about it, I think, is that you know that for at least 10 years you're gonna suck, relatively speaking.
It's almost the best part.
Yeah, it's like okay, I have something to like aim for, and I'm not just gonna get it easily. Like you're not just gonna walk in and be like, I'm strong, so I can like wrestlers can be strong and still do like pretty good just because they're strong. Maybe not
athleticism
not like,
though. You can be decent at least with pure athleticism,
especially in like high school and stuff.
Yeah.
In college, it's obviously not the same, but jiu-jitsu, like, there's 100-pound girls that just whip my ass, and I'm small too.
But like just bully you.
Yeah,
though. Like
it's brutal. It's so funny though.
It would be super embarrassing if it wasn't like impressive, like because it's a skill thing. It's just impressive. It's like,
and the fact that anyone can pretty much learn that, it's really cool.
It's like the first time you see it, I think that's what gets a lot of people into it. The first time you see it, it's like, how is that possible? That shouldn't happen.
I can beat them up.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that wouldn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And then you get embarrassed so bad, you're like, I gotta learn it.
You know, Dancing with Children, or Dancing with Children. What is this? What is it? Married with Children. The people that like Al Bundy.
Yeah, TV show.
Yeah, Al Bundy did jiu-jitsu. He does jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt.
The actor?
Yeah, the actor. The real life.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't know.
I think he's a black belt. I'm pretty sure. Sure. But he's with Gracie's.
Okay.
And he said that he showed up to class one day, and it was like Henner Gracie or something like that when he was like 15 years old. And in his dad was like, let's try it out. And he was like, get on top of him, like mount him. He's like, just hold him down for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And he was like, are you serious? Like 3 seconds? Like I'm like 200-pound dude, 250-pound guy, I can hold down this kid.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah.
And then instantly he was like, go. Instantly flipped him. And he was like, what the? And then he got on his back. He got on his back and he was like, all right, get up. Like you have 5 seconds to get up. And he was like, I can get up in 5 seconds. He was like, wait a minute. Like I know maybe he can like flip me because of momentum, but I definitely can get up. And so
he's just like
so he's like mounting him, holding his arms, and he got it. Like the kid just instantly flipped. Like,
squash, probably. Yeah.
It was crazy. It's like so funny about jiu-jitsu. But now that I can't do that to people. So.
No, I mean, yeah, it takes forever. I mean, you see progress. You can see progress quickly. It's just that the gap is so good that even when you're progressing, it's like you have so far to go.
And as soon as you see someone new come in, though, like you see someone new, and you're like, wow, I've gotten a lot better.
That's what makes me feel good, especially starting off, because in your first, if you only compare yourself to people who's doing it longer than you, in like 2 months, 3 months, it can feel like you're almost like not going anywhere until a newer person comes in the gym. You're like, wow, they don't even like,
they're bad. Grab somebody.
Yeah. I see though, I think it gets a lot of people into it, and I think it gets a lot of people out of it, because we've had multiple people, like, like the macho type dudes, like lifter bros. They'll go and they'll sign up, and it seems like they don't make it more than 2 months maybe. It's like they don't have patience, or they get too like it's like an ego thing.
I think it's a big ego thing. It's like the sport with no ego. That's what's also good about it. It takes 10 years to get good, so no one's like, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah, because by that time, it's like...
Unless you are the best. Then
if you're literally the best, you could probably be like, nah, it's me.
Yeah.
I am the sport. But yeah, if you make it 10 years, you probably don't even really care anymore. Like...
Oh yeah, true.
Like you're not worried about... I mean, again, unless you are a top competitor, you're not going to be mad if someone gets something on you. Like, you're past that. Yeah.
There are jack dudes that come into the gym. Or at least like wrestlers or something. Like guys who wrestled. They come there like, what the heck? Like, why can't I beat these guys? It's bullshit.
We had a guy like argue with our coach one time. It was super baffling to me. He was like really muscular, pretty built, I swear it was his second week, and our coach would tap him out like so quickly. He'd get up and he'd be like, what did I do wrong? And the coach he didn't know what to tell him. He's like, everything. Like, you didn't do anything right is the problem.
Yeah.
And he's like, he asked him, he's like, how do I like beat you? And it's like, it was just, I was watching it baffled, and I think our coach was baffled too. He's like, I don't know, I've been doing it for like 12 years, and that's how, I guess.
Yeah.
And that dude ended up quitting.
Yeah.
I didn't see him again much after that.
A lot of people have too much of an ego. Like jiu-jitsu, that's also what's so cool about it is that if you're like someone who's like shy or overweight or like skinny or just whatever, like been bullied, like it's a great place to go because pretty much everybody there, if not everybody, is like a cool person. And they're really nice and they like are happy to like teach you. And it's like a great place to like build up your confidence.
They're super cool with it. They don't, I think it's cool anytime I see someone start out. And I think because starting out is like intimidating, which can be the same for maybe lifting or something, but it's so intimidating. You just like respect the situation they're in, and you're not going to want to, no one will make it worse for you.
No, that's for sure. And if they do, then you need to switch gyms because that's not common.
Yeah, big problem.
Yeah. I mean, I've only been to just one, I think, gym. Just one gym.
Or it's, I mean, one thing, it's pretty rare, but the only people I'll see make it worse for a beginner is someone who's been there for like a month and like is the muscle head type, where it's like they find someone that they can beat, and so they like hammer down on them. But I feel like it's obvious that it's like one person doing that and that they aren't. Yeah, because normally people don't like that guy.
They're like, oh, I can finally like beat somebody because I've been here for a month.
Yeah, they're all like
they're excited. They're like, I know a triangle, so I can do it.
That's pretty rare though. I do tell people when they ask me if they want to like start or whatever, or they're about to go to their first practice, I'll tell them like, if you can, try to actually practice with colored belts, like blue or above, or someone who's been there a while, because it's the new people are dangerous and mean sometimes. Yeah. If you're working with like, say like a purple belt.
It could have been the meathead that came to your gym.
Yeah, it can be that guy.
He's been there for 2 weeks and he's like, I just want to crush somebody.
Who thinks he should crush you, so. Which is counterintuitive, you know. You see someone who's like, they got their cauliflower ear and they're like a veteran. It's like, I don't want to fuck with that guy. But they'll be nice to you. So that's
actually
what I tell
that's
people.
True. The guys who like are the ones who look like they'll fuck you up.
The ones who look mean are nice.
Yeah.
The ones who look not mean,
like
the ones who look new
are
super mean.
Yeah.
So
100% the case with jiu-jitsu.
What did anything specific get you doing it?
Not really. I think that a lot of people are interested in martial arts in some fashion.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Or they're at least like, man, one day it'd be cool if I could like throw a high kick or I don't know, something like that. Or they see UFC and they're like, I'd like to do UFC or just like the idea of being able to like defend yourself.
I think everyone wants that ability. Yeah. It sounds cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if I was mugged, like I'm not super like. I mean, obviously it's still scary. They have a knife and shit, but like if they're like attack you for some reason, you at least have like some kind of method to try to stop it.
Right.
So that's one thing. Is just like the martial arts. Like I think a lot of people want to learn something about it. But then there's also the like you did it. And your brother was doing it, and you guys were both talking about it all the time.
I go on about it all the time.
And I always thought jiu-jitsu was really cool, especially watching UFC.
Yeah.
And everyone's like hyping it up. They're like, it's the best. It's one of the best martial arts for sure. Like jiu-jitsu, like some striking, some wrestling. So like, okay, like that's cool. Arm bars, pretty cool.
Specifically arm bars. You're like, I gotta
learn some arm bars.
Learn that.
I did do it for like 2 months or so. As like a kid, like 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
So that was also kind of like an introduction where I knew that it worked. But primarily, I would say like you and your brother, primarily you, and then also like Joe Rogan talks about it a lot.
I hear people say that a lot, which is really cool because he's got his platform. I guess I don't watch Joe Rogan, but I guess he goes on about it.
Oh yeah, he always talks about how great jiu-jitsu is and how it's like he thinks everyone should do it. Like he thinks that everyone who has a kid should make their kid do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And you just it's like so that's another thing. It was like, but it's probably mostly like your influence, I guess.
Okay.
Because I was like, I want to beat Chris up, so I'll just do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you gotta be able to beat me up.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
So in like 8 years, I think I got you.
We'll have to do
probably
a grudge match or something.
Yeah. We did roll though. We did roll
literally yesterday
for the first time.
First time.
It was chill.
Which is cool.
It was pretty fun. We were on pretty like okay effort, just more like a fun roll kind of thing. Did like 3 or 4 rounds.
I'd say a good pace. I always wonder. Well, I guess like you, my brother, some other people I know who are personal friends. I always wonder before I roll with them because normally people are super chill. Depends on the friend. I'm like, are they gonna get competitive? Like, are they gonna like get like pissed off. He's like, my brother would get pissed off. I only started because, and I think that's a brother thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're both into it, like, oh yeah, for sure. And then like,
I think my brother would too.
Yeah, siblings probably.
Like he would just like start, because he's bigger than me and stronger than me. So if I was like starting to get him, he would like start like really trying to use his strength. I'm assuming. Yeah. Because he's like, why the hell is my brother like, I'm like 50 pounds lighter probably. And I'm like triangling him and shit.
Yeah, so it triggers him or something.
I haven't rolled with him. That was my guess.
Thomas is super chill now. Like it's like great.
Oh yeah.
Doing jiu-jitsu with him and stuff. But yeah, I'd say like the first 1 or 2 times, it was like, I don't know if I want to. Like it's gonna get weird pretty quickly. Yeah. So I do wonder that when it's people I know. Like,
there's a lot of, I mean, minus siblings, there's a lot of people who just get like almost too competitive for a practice, in my opinion. Like
just like in general.
Yeah, like it's every time you roll with them, you're like, all right, this guy's gonna go way too hard.
It's consistent.
And then if you tap them, then they're gonna go even harder the next time. And it's like, yeah, dude, I'm just trying to like not get hurt and do as many classes as I can, like as little time as I can.
And it's weird with people like that because a lot of times they're really cool just talking to them or like when they're not physically rolling with you. And so that's frustrating because there's a few people that it's like, I really like talking to, and then like we get on the mats and I'm like, yo, you want to like train? I'm like, not really. Like, you're a dick.
Yeah. Like, yeah. There's like,
but you don't want to tell him that.
I actually don't mind him because I'm a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
But when we roll, he's like really competitive because we started around the same time. Yeah. So he wants to like whip my ass. It's the guy you roll with. Yeah. He wants to like, he just like he wants to be better, which is fine. But he gets a little bit competitive, especially if I'm like mount him or something. Yeah. And he's like freaks out kind of.
Yeah, there's a healthy balance there.
But I think it's fine. Yeah.
I would actually, the most I would get injured was right when I started off because I like to think I wasn't like that, but if someone like was super aggressive towards me, I'd become stubborn and like not want to like tap or something, and then I'd like end up injured. But what made me so mad starting off is when you know someone is doing their jiu-jitsu completely wrong, right? You're like, that is really bad technique. And you're being a jerk. But when you're not good enough to like
get out of it,
that made me so mad for like the first probably 4 or 5 months. Because the person ended up beating me and they did totally wrong. I'd be like shaking, man. I'm like, how do I? Yeah. And if you just tell them like, hey, you did that wrong. They're like, I beat you. Like, shut up about it.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah. You almost don't have the right to tell them until you can do it correctly yourself. Yeah. But man, that was the most frustrating thing. Since I've been doing jiu-jitsu, I would get fully pissed off.
Yeah, I recommend, there's a few people who have came up to me and asked like they want to do jiu-jitsu and stuff. And I always tell them to tap fast and tap early. As soon as your arm is getting like straightened, tap because you're new.
Yeah,
it doesn't
people told me that.
No one gives a shit. Like, oh, the brand new guy tapped. Like, no one's like, yes, I tapped out the brand new guy that's done it for 2 months. So like, yeah, I would say tap. Like that's what I do. Yeah. As soon as someone gets like the arm bar, and as soon as I like it slips and they get it straight, tap. Even if it doesn't hurt.
That's absolutely what you should do. For me personally, it's not what you should do. Yeah. But it's like I had to like physically learn it in order to do that in the future.
A few casts on.
And it was like how I'd get annoyed if I thought someone was doing something wrong. Sometimes it'd be incorrect. So someone would get like an arm bar, right? And obviously they have my arm and they're putting pressure on it, but I'm like, I hyperextended my elbow one time and popped. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, it's uncomfortable, but like, you're not even doing this right. It goes pop, like a click and a pop. And I'm like, oh my God. And I tap, I had to take 2 weeks off I couldn't straighten my arm because it was like healing. It was like frozen a little bit.
Nice.
I've had that happen multiple times. I'm like, they're not even doing it right. And they were doing it right. Yeah. So don't do that. That's not a good approach.
Move right there.
I was a fool. Once again, I was a fool.
I want to train as much as I can since I find it so enjoyable. So, like, if they have it, I'll tap. If it's really bad, I won't tap because it's so bad.
Yeah, like not even dangerous in any way. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not trying to get hurt at all. So, and I also just recommend to be ready to get your ass kicked. You're not going to take someone down, probably, and if you do, you might get guillotined. Like you're not gonna get a submission for like weeks, probably. Like you're not gonna be good. You're gonna be so bad.
You'll get nothing unless they let you. And I actually was like this because I wrestled kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I think a lot of people can hear that and they believe it with anything involving self-defense or like physical abilities, you know. They hear that and they're like, for most people that's true.
Not for me.
But I bet I could get something.
Because you're a wrestler and stuff.
And because I was a wrestler, I was like, I've got to have a good head start in a way. And like, not really, like, you know, like, no one, I don't, when anyone says that, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
Unless
I
they're
feel like
like,
okay from the beginning, but it's because people in my gym have like similar strengths. So I like kind of see what they do and I'm like, okay, I can kind of do that.
Yeah.
But,
well, actually, I take that back because at Iowa we have a bunch of the D1, like the Hawkeye wrestlers or people just in that area, and some of them are so good. It's the athleticism and the speed and stuff. They actually would do really well. Week 1,
submitting and stuff, or just like taking down.
Almost anything.
Really?
Like so quick.
They get past guard and stuff like that easy.
Yeah, just because I don't know how to explain it. They're using literally just wrestling.
Yeah.
But you know, you get used to in jiu-jitsu people doing things with a certain measure to it. Not slowly, but like you see what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They're so quick by the time you realize they're going to your back or they're doing something. Yeah. It's like it's your own fault for not being on the same intensity as them.
I feel like wrestlers also are like so good at tying up legs.
Yeah.
They're like when they go for the double leg, your legs are just they're pinned.
It's over, and they control your hips.
It doesn't even matter if they know how to do anything because your legs are freaking pinned.
Yeah.
So you're not getting your guard back. Yeah, that's actually.
And they're tough because new people, even old people, sometimes if you're in a really uncomfortable position, you got pressure on your face or your eye or something, people will give you whatever you're trying to do.
I feel like I do that sometimes.
Yeah, like they'll give you the mount to let you do whatever. Wrestlers are just so tough. Wrestlers are crazy. Yeah. So they don't care. Yeah. So you're thinking like most people would give this up. It's like they feed off of it, and then they go twice as hard as you because you probably agitated them. But that's very specific to like you have to be like a good wrestler, like college level,
like West country basically.
Yeah, I mean, it was really really high level people.
I didn't know they did jiu-jitsu.
We would get some actual current Hawkeye wrestlers in the gym. They would do like a wrestling seminar with us or train even. We have a couple of past like national champs who have been out of college for, I don't know, a few years. It's almost like how I got into jiu-jitsu. They've been, I guess, hanging out. And so they show up at the gym. They're like, I want to keep doing this. And I mean, if you're a national champ.
It's a great sport too. Yeah. If you do it properly, you can do it for a really long time.
You got old people too. We got someone who's over 60.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's crazy. I think our oldest is like 50s. But that's still pretty old.
Yeah, he's old. Like you can tell he's old, and he gets so much credit for that because, you know, some people have trouble walking around at that age. Like they're starting to like hunch over and stuff, and he's active.
That's really cool. I hope to be like that. Hopefully, at least a pro belt by then. In 40 years.
Yeah.
No, I'll be hopefully a black belt by 40
Purple. Yeah, you'd be hitting purple. That's doable, I would say.
I'm pretty sure I can get a pro belt in 40 years. There's a lot of people that quit though. Obviously during white belt, but a lot of people quit at blue belt.
I was gonna say, have you seen the memes?
No.
They call it like the blue belt blues, and it's like, and there's just memes of like a coach gives someone his blue belt, and he's like, "Nice, now I can quit."
Yeah, and then there was a guy in my gym, in the gym yesterday. No, I think it was the day before you came.
Yeah,
might have been Friday or something. But he was, I think he was joking around, but we were doing warm-ups. Yeah. He's like, I think he's been doing it for like 2 years or something. Yeah. I think he might have been expecting his blue belt at the promotion ceremony.
Very possible.
I think so. Yeah. But he was like, he was talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, man, I can't wait to get my blue belt so that I can quit.
It's like a huge joke in the community. Yeah. Which is true.
It is super true. Yeah. Because you're like, I just spent 2 years getting a blue belt. I'm not getting any better. Like you think you're not getting better, but you are. But there's white belts that are super athletic and young and like strong, and they're like starting to get good and they're starting to catch up to you. And you're like, oh, like freaking blue belts are catching up to me. Yeah. I mean, white belts are catching up to me. I'm a blue belt. I'm not getting better. I can't do these purple belts. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm done with this sport. You get hurt and then you're like, I'm done.
You do hit like a weird wall too. I feel like I feel a lot better about it now, but probably with any hobby, you know, right when you start, you don't know anything, and there's like this learning explosion. I don't know if it's true or not, but it feels like is right around blue belt, everyone just starts beating you up. It's like you know the basics, right? The basics are like what's like, quote easy to grasp.
Like a guard pass, like
so you have your like standard
sweeps,
things you've incorporated, and then if you try to learn the more complex things, it's like you have to be so good at them for them to work because they're more complex. And it's just sad, you go. I think it was right around when I got promoted to blue belt, because I see this too, and I'm assuming it's true. Some of it I know is true. So when you go to blue belt, they say like all the white belts who wanted a promotion and they didn't get it, you're like the number one target in a way, because they're like, if I can beat him up, it shows that I am where he's at, and like he just got his. So they go like a lot harder, and I noticed it. I mean,
oh really?
Yeah, some of a lot of the white belts, especially like the wrestlers, went like twice as hard on. I mean, they were wiping me around the mat. I was like, guys, please, like, it's me.
That's
but
really
it's like they just want to kill you. And then like purple belts and above, a good amount of them go easy on white belts, right? Because they're like, I don't want to be a jerk, kind of. Yeah. Once you get your blue belt, they're like, now they need to know. You're like, now I can beat them up and I don't feel bad about it. So they go twice as hard on you, and it makes you feel like you got worse when probably people are just. It's good, it's pressure.
That's true.
But like around when I got my blue belt, I think I went over 2 weeks without getting a single submission on anyone, when I previously was getting multiple per practice. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I'm depressed. How bad am I? So that makes you feel like you hit this wall, and I think it's discouraging for a lot of people.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm not there yet.
I enjoyed it less for a couple months, probably, and then you slowly like it's like you start over again. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'm getting better.
Like that though. Yeah. You like restart, and like the higher belts are going hard on you because they want you to get better.
I'm sure at every stage that exact same thing happens.
I mean, like one of the things that I hear is like once you're a black belt is when Jiu Jitsu really starts.
I hear that, and I don't
get it. I don't know what that even means.
It's not that I don't believe it. I totally believe it, but what do they mean? You've been doing it for 10 years. Yeah. Like,
I want to be a black belt just to know what they mean.
Yeah, it really starts.
It's got to be something like because there's such like a huge gap between black belts. Yeah. Like a brand new black belt versus like the world champion, Yeah. Or like your coach. Yeah. Like if you're brand new versus that, like the best in the world. Yeah. Like it's like white belt versus black belt again.
Maybe it's like I just thought of this. like grindy video games like RPGs or MMOs or something.
Oh yeah.
But like you need to put in 40 hours to get to the end game. Yeah. Because then it really opens up. Yeah. Maybe it's like that. It's like you're just like leveling up right now. You haven't even.
You're like, I just want to be level 20, and then you get level 20. It's max level. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I have to like, get all this gear, and I have to get all this.
Oh, now you're like, now I get it. The game just started.
Now I can PvP and get all the gear. Yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be because. I mean, obviously not literally, but.
As a comparison, though, I mean, that's
really good comparison.
What it's about.
Yeah, that's really good. We don't know, but that seems very accurate.
Won't know for a long time, but that's.
No one in Jiu-Jitsu knows because they don't play video games, so we can't ask them if that's a good comparison.
Yeah. I see a lot of them do play.
I'm just trolling.
Yeah. But I was surprised though.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking that like black belts. Also, it's like way more just like minuscule technique.
You mean like finer detail, like really fine lines?
So like instead of just like knowing, because like I feel like let's say you know every move like by heart. Yeah. Which I feel like most black belts, not every move, but they know a lot of moves.
Yeah, they know their shit.
Like it's like a muscle memory, they fucking just. Yeah. I think once you get to black belt and you're facing off against other black belts, you have to know every move by heart and be like super technical with them. Mm-hmm. And also you have to know like how like the body movement works and all that.
It could be the difference of that stuff that always like really impresses me is if one of my coaches is teaching a move or something and there's these really broad points in the move that everyone catches and they'll be like, no, like you need your wrist up, not down. And you can feel the difference.
Or even if it's just like a little bit, like if it's this compared to this.
They'll actually say that. They're like, no, make it like this angle. Yeah. It's like, are you seriously doing that? Like, just like that? Yeah. And I think they are. But I think that's probably a lot of the difference is those really tiny.
Yeah. Or even like the Ezekiel choke. Yeah. Like you can do 2 fingers, 3 or 4. Yeah. But 2 is like you're really strong. It's not recommended.
Yeah.
But like 3 is like pretty strong, and if you can get 4, like that shit.
4 is solid. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like gotta be stuff like that, like little things that like you wouldn't expect to matter so much, but they do. Or even like doing a sweep and like using more of your legs to get them off balance and
use your hips. Have you ever had one that's always cool? I'm almost scared to ask the coach. Is say you're running a choke or something, you're literally letting your training partner do it to you, however they want, and it's kind of choking you, like they're doing it pretty good, and they'll ask the coach for one bit of help, and the coach does it on you. And it's like 4 times as tight. Yeah. It's like I almost don't like it because when they put it on, you're like, oh, like that hurt me.
We were doing single legs. Yeah. And Kevin, he just got his black belt. Yeah. He the guy was doing it to me, white belt that I was going with. He was doing it to me. He was pinching. He actually just got blue belt, so he's blue belt. He was pinching his knees on his leg, or pinching his knees on my leg. And he was doing the single leg, normal single leg, and then doing like this kind of move.
Yeah, like moving
to, like off balance you. It was just like it was like a warm up kind of move.
Yeah.
And then he was like, Kevin's like, no, do it like this, and Kevin did the same thing, and it was squeezing, and I literally like was getting whipped around. I was like, how is this happening? It doesn't even make sense.
I'll fall down.
He was like holding my leg so tight with his knees. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's such a big difference. Like whipping me around like a freaking rag doll. Compared to like me like being like really good balance.
You're almost letting them do it, and that what's crazy is you're letting them both do it. It's just the effect of the one is.
It's like the weird strength in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Really strong forearms, really strong like squeezing on the
hands,
legs,
knees,
like the muscle. It's a great sport. I'm excited to be 10 years from now.
Keep
brown belt, black
belt. See how it goes,
And just see like how good you get. Like, will you? Because you could be Masters World Champion. You know,
it's you always could be, and then I don't know. Is it just like Masters 1, 2, 3, and 4? Yeah, because a lot of sports you have to retire in. You know, almost at any level. If you're 30, it's like you're up against 20-year-olds. That's not going to go well for you, or whatever age. But when you get 50, it's just a new bracket opens for you of 50-year-olds,
and it's still like pretty respectable. I mean, obviously, like if you win it. I mean, I still think it's actually really respectable.
I think it's super respectable because no one's going to tell you, like, yeah, right, you're 50. It's impressive. It's like you're 50 and
you're 50 and you're freaking fighting against the best 50-year-olds in the world, basically.
Yeah. It's the same among weight divisions, you know, like, no one's like, it's not impressive to win at 140 because you lose against a heavyweight. It's the same thing. It's like different age, but it's still impressive.
Yeah, it's very cool. That'd be dope, though.
I don't know how...
become Masters 4 world champion when I'm 45 years old and then up in the gym.
I don't know how much I'd want to compete, though. I want to compete, but I don't know how much.
It's kind of weird. I want to compete when I feel good at jiu-jitsu, which pretty much means I'll never compete.
Yeah, because that's the problem.
Because like right now, I competed once, and I lost. But I was training for like 2.5 months, so I was very new. Yeah. And I did decent against the people. Like they did not smoke me. I didn't get any points. I didn't get points scored on me on the second match. First match, I got 0 points scored on me. Mm-hmm. Second match, I got kind of smoked. I was just so tired. But I was like, even before it, I was like, I don't really think I want to, like, this isn't really, like, fun to me. It's like, I'm new to jiu-jitsu. I know I'm going to get my ass kicked. Like, I don't know anything. I don't even know how to pass, like, certain guards. Like, I don't even know how, like, if someone put me in a spider guard, I would just been stuck there the whole time.
It's over. Yeah. It's like, that's it.
It's like, okay, you win. Like, congratulations. Yeah. And to me, that just, like, wasn't fun. Like, like, I might, like, someone can just double, like, me and then pass my guard and I lose. It's like, great. That was a good time. But it's also, maybe I should just be more humble about it. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to lose, but also then I compete.
The experience is good. There's a lot of things I like about it, of course, but I have multiple reservations. One is it's super stressful for me, which is good. Like, on the one hand, it's really good to go through something like that, but I have to cut a decent amount of weight. Like,
I didn't cut any weight.
I was cutting like between 12 and 15 pounds, I think. And so, like, you gotta, it was on my mind every meal, every
I was like 3 pounds under.
Weekend. Oh, I ended up at like 2 pounds under, but that's after that 12 to 15 pound weight cut, which is really cool. It's another way to test yourself, kind of. But if you do it a lot,
that'll fuck you up.
It's like, it's tough. And then just the stress thinking about it. And when I'm practicing in the gym and stuff, I'm like, I really want to do a competition. I definitely will do more. Mm-hmm. I have this weird thing I had in wrestling too. I lose all interest when I'm actually there. It's like,
When you're at the competition?
Yeah. Or like when I'm at the gym practicing, when I'm at home thinking about it, I'm like, man, I'm gonna go all into this. Like, it's gonna be really cool. And you know, you have like you weigh in, and then it could be 10 minutes before your match, could be half an hour. You know, you're just waiting for them to like call your name. It's like I'm sleepy. Like I don't stretch. You see people getting pumped up. They listen to music, like pacing around. I'm just kind of sitting there.
That's how I was actually.
And I have this vision. I'm like, it feels not real, kind of. I'm like, I'm gonna be on the.
Sorry guys, we had a little camera difficulty, but we're back in action.
Like I was saying, I was like sleepy before the match or whatever, and then actually even during one of my matches, I've had I think 4 total. One of them, even when you shake the person's hand, you know, and like they say go, and like it's on. I was thinking, I was like, am I really doing this? The dude took me down so quick, like he was in the zone because they said go. Is within like 5 seconds. I'm like, all right, like get ready, boom. He took me down, and I lost the match on that. Actually, that's the only point scored. Yeah, but it was, and then it shocked me kind of, and then I was like in it, like I was ready, and then after the fact, I always feel like, oh yeah, it was worth it. I'm glad I was here. It's just a weird feeling to be super stressed about it, and then as it begins, it's like a loss of interest, a weird loss of interest.
That's interesting. Maybe it's just like you like the process.
I like weight cutting.
I like the idea of it. Like you just like the stress of it.
I actually think I don't know if people would agree with me on this, because everyone says like competing is good for you. I don't feel like the competition itself is necessarily good, but when I'm at the gym coming up to that, I try super hard and I'm super focused. I never like slack because I'm thinking like, man, I got that competition next month. And then if I'm cutting weight, it actually makes me eat super healthy. Like my lifestyle switches, and I feel like in that month of training for it, I improve a ton. Then in the competition, I'm sleepy and I'm like, why am I here right now? But it's still huge benefit.
It's like having the goal of something to strive for with your jiu-jitsu. Where you're like, man, the only problem I have is that even for me, like with my very limited experience, I was like focusing specifically on like certain things, and I was like not like for like a few weeks, I guess I wasn't like even trying to like try new things. I was just pulling guard. I was just like triangles and arm bars from guard, and that's like pretty much all I was doing because I wanted to get good at those, but I wasn't like trying to improve my game. That's why I just feel like if you compete, it shouldn't be very often.
How long in advance did you sign up? Like how much notice did you have?
I had notice. I had like 3 months. Like as soon as I joined.
But you decided.
But I didn't want to do it. But they were like, they literally kept saying like, you should do it, man. Like you're good for your like how long you been doing jiu-jitsu. Like you should do it. And they kept calling me out in class and stuff. Like who's doing the competition like in 2 weeks? And everyone raised their hand. They're like, Jeff,
you're doing it.
Like, okay.
That pressure. I think one of them I signed up for at least a month in advance. And that one I liked more, maybe both of them, but I liked that more because I would do like, up until 2 weeks left, I would try to get better at everything. I would actually put myself out of my comfort zone because I'm like, I know I'm garbage at this, I'm in trouble if I get here. So I would work, you know, that rounded game. 2 weeks before, that's why I asked, 2 weeks before I was like, I'm not gonna learn anything new, so I'm gonna take what I'm good at and just really.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was pretty last minute, so maybe that's why. But it just, I just felt like I was more serious about class though.
Yep.
And it definitely, it probably is like for sure good for you. But another thing to add to that is, a lot of people when it comes to like if they're doing competition, they're training for competition. So like they're training to like hold the on belly for 3 seconds or whatever it is.
Oh, like points.
Like if you're playing for points, like, you're like, if you pull guard, make sure he doesn't grab your leg because then he gets a takedown. And it's like, I'm just trying to tap this guy out, man. Like, I don't care.
You said you don't like the point system. I like it. I'll train that way even when I'm not competing.
But the reason why I don't like it is because I'm trying to get better at jiu-jitsu for the sake of being good at jiu-jitsu. It's not for like the sake of being good at competition jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I mean, there's some weird like loopholes where it's like, if you sweep them and they sweep you and you keep just switching positions.
Yeah, there's no points.
It's like, but it's like the points go up and up as if you're doing something good. And that's kind of weird. But
I feel like pass their guard on a sweep, then it's not a guard pass. It's like There's like little weird
That's really,
things
yeah, stuff like that. There's like loopholes in it, but I think the core system I train for.
Mhm.
Like, I'm fine holding someone on the bottom in like side control or something for 5 minutes. I mean, I'll try to get something else, but if I do that, I still feel like I'm doing better than them.
But are you trying to submit though, or are you trying to like get past?
I'm looking to, but it's like, for me, the difference is like how smart you're being. You know, if you're like, my one goal is to get a submission, you'll try something risky, like a split second thing.
But that also could, like, in real life, that could hurt you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how I view the point system, is like taking that into consideration almost. Because if I have you on the ground flattened out, and I'm like, there's a 20% chance I could do something crazy right now. It's like, that's not smart. Like, I'd rather slowly get something that I'm sure I can get than like totally ruin my position for a crazy, like, cool looking move.
Yeah, that's true. And in my competition, the problem I have, like one guy literally, just like I had him in close guard, and he didn't do anything the entire match. Like, he didn't even try because he was too scared to get points taken out. He was too scared to get swept. He was too scared to get like any submission, like get submitted on. He literally dragged me out of bounds. So that was hilarious. And it should have been a DQ, but it wasn't. I don't know why. Yeah. But he literally dragged me out of bounds so that he could like reset the position, and they didn't even give me guard back. So like we reset standing because he was like didn't want to do anything to jeopardize. He literally picked me up and walked out of bounds. Yeah,
so that's too much. That's even ruining the competition. I mean, that's ruining even the match itself.
Yeah, even the idea of like you're here to show off how good you are. Like pass, like just break my guard and pass.
Yeah, you didn't come to like sit there. Yeah. Unless he just really wants to.
And I was being active too. Like I was, trying to pull his arm, just pulling down, just breaking his posture, and he's just like, "Nah, I don't want to do this."
Throw him out of bounds.
And what's funny is he was not a guard. Like he was like a wrestler. Like he was trying to take me down. Like that was his goal.
Oh, so he was just not.
Yeah.
Very.
He's
good.
I think he actually might have won, which is pretty funny. Like he might have won.
That happens, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Like this is your game plan. You want to be on top. Like do something. Expose an arm. Like try to break my guard or something.
Right. Take some risk.
He didn't even try to break my guard. Like not even.
So he just sat. Is he like arm stiff, just sitting there?
And if I tried to pull, he'd pull it back. Which I mean, obviously, like he's not just gonna give me his arm, but that's all he was doing was like basically stopping me from
frustrating. Yeah. I do see that. I mean. I've only competed at white belts, and those competitions are great. But when I'm watching, because you have all the other classes, I've noticed that happens at white belt a lot. Almost nowhere else, though.
Oh, I believe that.
And I think the more comfortable people are in different areas, like you're saying, it's like a more rounded game. They'll almost like give you something to continue the act, not give you points, but be like, I'll break the guard, or you almost let someone out of your guard because you think you're confident.
I was opening my legs to get like triangles and armors. Yeah, my legs.
Oh, okay. So
I wasn't just like holding closed guard.
Okay, I was thinking maybe you were standing there too.
I was actively going for I literally went for 3 different armbar attempts.
Oh, that's on him now.
And then he would try to pass, but I would just get my guard back really fast. But it was just but nowadays you are right. I would just like grab sleeves and like maybe switch to spider guard.
Yes, I'll spider from here like just to advance the match.
Just to, like change it up a little bit.
I don't know. I do maybe for a year. That was my initial goal, was like 1 competition per season.
Okay. I might do maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
As I thought, like however long at white belt, 1 or 2. Maybe one at white belt. 1 per year at white belt. Which might just be the one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be white belt in 10 years, could be white belt in 6 months.
Who knows, yeah. Could be forever.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching the episode, guys. Episode 2. Lagunitas Sucks. Delicious.
Very good.
Creepy.